Have you ever noticed that the hardest part of building wealth isn't making the second $100,000, but simply keeping the first 10? In the United States and across Europe, we are living through a peculiar era. We have more access to information than any generation in history, yet the average bank account remains a revolving door. If you find yourself at the end of the month wondering where the money went, despite having a decent job and a normal life, you aren't failing because you lack hustle. You are likely just playing a game where the rules were written by someone else. Today, we are going to look at the anatomy of that first $10,000. Not through the lens of get-rich-quick schemes, but through the lens of quiet, rational math and the psychology of the modern middle class. Let's look at a typical scenario for a young professional in a city like Chicago, Frankfurt, or London. You land a respectable job. Let's say you're earning $60,000 a year. After the taxman takes his share, you're left with roughly $3,800 to $4,000 a month in your pocket. On paper, that sounds like a lot of potential. But the default path is already waiting for you. Rent in a safe, trendy area costs you $1,600. A financed car or a monthly transit pass takes another $600. Subscriptions, a phone plan, groceries, and a few dinners out take another $800. Finally, the student loan or credit card balance takes $400. By the time the dust settles, you have $400 left. In this scenario, saving $10,000 will take you 25 months. 2 years of perfect discipline just to hit 5 figures. The system isn't designed to make you poor, it's designed to keep you comfortably broke. We've stopped asking how much something costs, and started asking if we can afford the monthly installment. When we look at a $30,000 car, our brain should see a massive chunk of our life energy. Instead, the dealership shows us $450 a month. By breaking costs into small, digestible bites, the system bypasses our natural defense mechanisms. Let's do the basic math. If you save $500 a month at a 4% interest rate, it takes you 20 months to reach $10,000. But if you trade that $500 for a car payment, you haven't just lost the money, you've lost the time that money represents. That car didn't cost $30,000. It cost you nearly 2 years of your financial freedom. We buy things to signal to a society that we are doing well, using the very money that would actually make us well. ## the psychological pivot. Financially intelligent people don't look at $10,000 as a collection of consumer goods. They look at it as a volatility buffer. The first $10,000 is the most important because it changes your relationship with the world. When you have zero in the bank, a layoff is a catastrophe. A broken furnace is a crisis. You are forced to make decisions based on fear. But when that $10,000 is sitting quietly in a high-yield account, your boss's bad mood doesn't ruin your weekend. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming a participant in your own life. The shift isn't about cutting out coffee or grinding 80 hours a week. It's about a cold, rational assessment of your big three expenses: housing, transport, and food. Ask yourself, is the ego boost of a new car worth the 2-year delay in your peace of mind? ## the reality of the first 5 figures. Reaching $10,000 isn't a sprint, it's an exercise in social courage. It requires the courage to be the boring friend for a year. It requires the courage to drive the older car or live in the smaller apartment while your peers are upgrading. Psychologically, we are wired to mimic our tribe. If your tribe spends every cent they earn, you will feel an invisible pressure to do the same. Breaking away from that isn't an act of deprivation, it's an act of independence. Once you hit that $10,000 mark, the math changes. You begin to understand the concept of capital. You see that money can work for you, even if it's just a few dollars of interest a month at first. The momentum shifts from pushing a boulder uphill to watching it roll down the other side. ## conclusion. Saving your first $10,000 won't make you a millionaire overnight. It won't buy you a yacht or a villa. But it will buy you something much more valuable: clarity. It is the foundation upon which every other financial decision is built. It's the difference between living a life of what if and a life of what's next. Take a look at your bank statement tonight. Don't look at the numbers with guilt, but with curiosity. Ask yourself how much of your monthly outflow is buying you a future, and how much is just maintaining a mask for the present. The math is simple. The psychology is the hard part. But once you master the latter, the former takes care of itself. If you found this perspective helpful, consider subscribing. We'll continue to explore the intersection of money and mind, one rational step at a time.